Guys, and welcome back to Sundays with Coach Shar. I am Shar, the business doula. Today we're going to be talking about knowing when to quit. Quit in air quotes, because maybe not quit, but maybe pivot is a better word. Okay, so first off, I want to say that I missed you guys. I was taking a much needed vacation. I am 6 months pregnant, so things are changing for me at a high-speed chase, I should say. So energy levels are kind of shifting and changing, and I'm just trying to adapt the best way that I can. But I appreciate you guys being patient with me and sticking with me, because I did miss you, and I was definitely thinking about you. But one of the things that I was definitely thinking about while on vacation, which brought me to this subject, is knowing when to quit or pivot. One thing that I think that we kind of take for granted is the fact that when you put into a situation, whether that be a business, friendship, a relationship, anything, when you put yourself into something, you should get something back. Okay, so there should be reciprocity. Even if it's not instant, there should be some type of reciprocity. Okay, and I know that, for society right now, we're all about instant gratification, and we want to invest and we want to see return on our investment, and we want we want instant. We're like the microwave generation, right? However, that's not always the case, right? When it comes to things, some things are kind of like slow and steady, right? But you should still know that there is something coming, or you should be able to feel or see that there is something coming from everything that you put in. If you find yourself in a situation where you are getting absolutely nothing from it, and you see absolutely nothing coming from it, it may be time to quit that and pivot to something else. So after you have prayed, after you have planned, after you have created strategy, after you have really identified with yourself, like, okay, am I giving this my all? Am I showing up in the way that I should be showing up? Have I fulfilled all of my commitments and my obligations to myself into the situation? Once you have answered yes to all those and checked all that off, it's okay to then pull back or quit from that and pivot to something else. I feel like we beat ourselves up about the idea of quitting or getting or leaving something behind, or we like, oh no, don't give up. But sometimes you do need to give it up so that you can go into the next area that's going to be more beneficial to you, and into your future, into the things that you're trying to get accomplished. So don't be afraid to pivot and apply your energy into other situations that are going to be more beneficial to you. I think that that's something that we don't talk about enough, because we're so afraid of the idea of failure and giving up. But there's no such thing as failure. There's lessons that you learn and that you're able to take into your next situation. Even in jobs where things don't work out, I can still take those skills and move them over to another situation or another opportunity. So moral of the story is, do not be afraid to pivot or to quit what you're doing that's not working and that's not feeding you anything back, short term, long term, and switch it over into something that is, or that will. Because naturally there needs to be reciprocity. I mean, even in the Bible, it says that you will know the tree by the fruit that they bear. So if you are not bearing any fruit in this situation, then that's not what it's supposed to be. Like, a tree is supposed to bear fruit. So just think about that, kind of ponder on that. This is, just kind of where my thoughts were, especially now, like I said, with being pregnant. It's like, I want to make sure that whatever I'm giving energy to, I am getting something in return, or that it is something good that's going to come out of it in the future, right? What I was explaining to my friend is that I'm a pourer. I'm a natural person that I just love pouring into people. I love to, encourage, uplift, motivate. That's just who I am. But what we cannot do as pourers, or if you're like me and you love, that motivational conversation, and you just love to give and love to pour, what you cannot do is pour into cups with holes. They can have low amount in their cup. They can even have an empty cup, but they cannot have a hole in their cup, okay? Because everything that you then pour is just on the ground. It's wasted. It hasn't went anywhere, right? So I am really in a season of encouraging people to fix their cup, okay? And there's no real nice way of saying it or doing it, like, oh, fix your cup. No, it's more so just like creating a boundary for yourself to say, yeah, you probably are not in the position to receive what it is that I'm trying to give to you or pour into you at this very moment. So let me not do that at this time, right? Maybe suggest a therapist, maybe suggest talking to a professional, something along those lines. But that's just not my place at this time, because I need to pour into a vessel that is secured, I would say, where that doesn't have holes, that doesn't have, that is not going to be wasted, right? And then it's like this picture on social media where they have these flower watering pots, and they're like all lined up, and you pour water into one, and as it fills up, it pours into another, and it pours into the other. That only works if everybody's vessel is good, right? And there's no holes and there's no cracks. So it only works, the reciprocity only works in that circle when there is not any holes in the vessel, right? So when you see that there may be cracks or holes in the vessels or in the situations, or there's cracks and holes within the business, there's cracks and holes within the relationship, if those are not something that you are committed to helping fix, or you're not invested enough to do so, then that may not be appropriate for you to continue to pour into that, because you're not going to be able to really get anything out of it. Something's going to sip out. So that's basically my whole thought in train, and this idea of knowing when to quit or when to pivot your energy into a new situation, because that's important. You can't be out here just giving and giving and giving and not getting anything in return. You can't do that to yourself. That's not healthy. That's not the way that it was intended to be, in no way, shape, form, or fashion. So knowing that, I encourage you to really sit back, have a conversation with yourself, journal it, do what you need to do to really figure out, okay, are there areas that I'm giving my energy to that I probably can like kind of take that back to be able to apply it in another area? Like, oh my God, I'm so busy, I can't start my business. Well, what are you actually doing with your time? If it's being used or mishandled in other places, then we can take that time back, reclaim your time, and now we have that time available to really be productive. So that's what it's all about, guys. It's all about being able to take the energy and the time that we have and pour it into what's going to be most productive to us and for us, not just to be doing it because we are good people and we have good hearts and we want to see good things happen for people. No, we have to be practical when we're looking at our day. We only get so much time and so much energy. That's it. Once you're out of both, you're out. So think about that. Maybe journal that. Maybe think, ponder on that. Maybe have a discussion with a friend, family member, and see like, okay, what are their thoughts about it? And then maybe next week we can talk a little bit more about it. You tell me what you came up with. I'll let you know what I came up with in my journal, and we go from there. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. That's pretty much the episode, keeping it light. I just want you guys to really think about that, because that was really what was on my mind while I was kind of vacationing and taking time to myself. Like, okay, I need to know when to quit or pivot better. And I need to know how to do that more seamlessly. Especially in the next season, right? So please be sure to like, and subscribe to my channel for more content and videos of the sort. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Shar_the_business doula. I look forward to connecting with you guys next week. I hope that you have an amazing, productive week full of energy, full of all the time that you need. Take care and be well.